Hello and welcome to TelecomTV. My name is Martin Warwick. We're here in California, in Santa Clara, at the ETSI NFV ISG series, number 7 in the ongoing series about network functions virtualization. I'm talking with Kurt Romer, who is the Chief Security Strategist with Citrix Systems. Kurt, welcome.
Thanks, Martin.
Different kind of slant on this interview because you are a security specialist, but let's put it in context to start with. What about ETSI and Citrix and the NFV ISG? How do these things fit together?
They fit together extremely well, and Citrix has been committed to the ETSI NFV project for the last year, and we're really making sure that we're contributing at a very strong level, providing security and trust guidance, as well as providing insights into our virtual network functions that we have for optimizing video traffic, overall network traffic for mobile service providers, as well as WAN optimization and traditional networks as well, and how all of that comes together. So as the blending of mobile networks and traditional networks, as well as cloud networking, all come together, Citrix is very well positioned to be supporting ETSI NFV efforts.
Now, as we said, this is the 7th such convocation for this group. How long have you been involved in it? It's come up very quickly from next to nothing only a couple of years ago to being something really pretty impressive now.
Yes, it is very impressive. I've personally been involved for the last 4 face-to-face meetings, and I've had some involvement before then in helping to understand the group's objectives and also helping to drive things from a security perspective, being rapporteur for the security and trust guidance along with a representative from Intel.
Do you find that there's general agreement that security, compliance, etc. is very important, and is there a general agreement among the various companies represented on the ETSI NFG ISG?
Yes, it's extremely well represented. Security and trust are pivotal to the entire effort, and case in point, for the last day and the next 2 days, we're meeting with all of the other teams within ETSI NFV, from reliability to management to software infrastructure and beyond, and just making sure that we're all coordinating and have the right security and trust guidance available for them. The security and trust guidance was really pulled together because there was a common need across all the groups for security information, for alignment of topics, as well as key definitions, and providing some guidance that allows people to build their recommendations. And it's been extremely well received.
What then are the main security, privacy, compliance concerns, risk concerns, as far as NFV is concerned for Citrix Systems? What are you researching, what are you doing, and what do you bring to the party?
From a Citrix perspective, we bring in the ability to have load balancing capabilities as well as service delivery, and being able to automate those processes and secure them all the way from instantiation through retirement and everything that you would do within the VNFC lifecycle, and for VNFs in particular as well at a very high level. And in doing that, Citrix is providing key technologies, but we're also providing a lot of support for ETSI NFV. And personally, that's where I see a tremendous amount of our value coming forward, because we're able to leverage what we're doing on the mobile service provider side as well as on the enterprise and cloud side together, and make sure that we understand the unique aspects of NFV and are able to contribute those to the better security enablement of all the groups.
What do you think is the most important aspect of security, compliance, risk, privacy, etc. that you're dealing with at the moment in direct relation to NFV, and where it's going to go? Because the potential for NFV is enormous to become a global technology, across the world's networks.
Yeah, absolutely. The real key issue here is a lot of people think that when you move to virtualization, you do that while degrading security. And you can. It's very easy to set up any infrastructure, virtualized or otherwise, without security, as
Sure.
we've all seen, or without appropriate security. The real challenge here is making sure that we're defining what key objectives have to be met in order to secure the business use case and be able to provide security guidance behind it, so that you have security built in from the start that assures things like availability, disaster recovery, capabilities, authentication, identity management, the peering of service providers and how they can securely be able to peer up and be able to prove SLAs without either of them having to have full visibility into each other's operations, but still have full assurance. There's some great challenges here. There's some things that virtualization makes a lot easier, but there are certain things like forensics and lawful intercept that will continue to become challenges because they are so physically entrenched today. And that's really the next wave of what we need to work on, is making sure that we can abstract the virtual from the physical all the way down to some of these practices that involve lawyers and cops.
Absolutely. We're moving on with NFV from pure technology, theory, very, very quickly on to proof of concept now.
Yes. And
looking forward to trialing in due course and then commercial deployment. As far as security, compliance, risk, privacy, etc. is concerned, in these proofs of concept, where does Citrix sit in that? Are you involved in various proofs of concept at the moment, or is what you do in a layer beneath all this?
Yeah, we've been supporting many of the proof of concepts within Citrix from a conceptual perspective, and have been working with companies to help develop some proofs of concept that are very specific to their objectives and being able to grab some of the key concepts and move them forward. While we're not actively participating in a proof of concept right now, we have several that are in the works, and they all have security objectives associated with them. It's taken a while to get the security and trust document pulled together from the security use cases that have been provided, and we now are very confident that we can go through and work with the rest of the member organization within ETSI NFV and deliver some pretty amazing proof of concepts that show some really cool security technologies.
And a final question to you, what about Citrix systems and NFV going forward? As you say, once the proof of concepts are complete, move into yet another phase. We're moving into phase 2 now, and phase 3 is just down the road.
Yes.
What do you think that's going to involve?
Well, right now it's really been helping to provide a lot of the specification, and that's critically important so that we've got a great blueprint, understanding where we're going, and can march down that road in unison. And by doing that, we now know what we need to do in phase 2. And phase 2 is really about the proof of concepts, about showing it and making sure that we can realize a lot of the objectives that we put in place over the last year. Phase 3 is going beyond proof of concepts and realizing this out in the real world. We do see that a lot of the proof of concepts, as soon as they're conceptualized and as soon as they're very visible and we're showing them off, as we're showing some demos here over the next couple days, we find that people want to move those concepts into production very quickly because they solve real world problems. So phase 2 might be rather quick.
Interesting time.
Yes.
Okay, Kurt Romer, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Martin.